What's going on, guys? This is Cole, aka Proximitty, bringing you a brand new video today. I've had this requested a lot recently. A lot of people wanted me to just go over some general sniping tips, so I'm going to do that today. You know, I made a no-scope video and just like help giving a lot of tips on no-scoping, so I'm not going to cover any no-scoping. If you want to see that video, I'm going to link it right now so you can check that out. You know, if you're interested in no-scoping side of things, I did a whole video dedicated to that. But this video is going to be about just overall sniping. So I'm going to go over positioning, when and when not to use your sniper. A lot of sniping isn't about challenging everything, so I'm going to go over that, and then just some overall tips that I have for you guys. So I hope you guys can learn from this, and we'll get right into it. Okay, so a big thing about sniping, I feel like, this is in a team slayer setting. I'm not trying to teach you guys how to play team snipers. You know, that's like, do whatever the hell you want. Everybody's gonna snipe, everybody's doing weird stuff. You know, do whatever you like there. But in a team slayer setting, a lot of snipers is about positioning, and like I said, challenging and knowing when and when not to challenge. But I feel like, you know, some pretty normal shots, a lot of people seem to make more difficult for themselves than they need to. You know, a lot of shots seem like they're pretty hard to do, but in a lot of cases, they really aren't if you just line it up properly. Like I said, the positioning thing is important, and then your reticle placement. In the no-scope video, I've gone over this, and this is something that, you know, I really want to emphasize. See how my reticle's at head height here? You know, if I sweep it across, it's at his head. Same thing if I go in scope, it's just on his head at all time. You want to be in the practice of doing that because it's going to make your life a lot easier. So the big point of this video I'm going to do is just try to explain how to make the shot as easy as possible. You know, sniper's like a flashy weapon, but it doesn't mean that it needs to be that hard to use. If you know, take these steps properly, you're going to make it as easy as possible for yourself to hit your shots. That's really what you want to do. So this first scenario I want to run down is kind of like how to punish a chaser. It doesn't always have to be when somebody's chasing you, but you'll be able to apply this in many situations once you see what I'm talking about. But let's say Dallas and I are in here at a bit of a gun battle, and I back away, and I'm assuming he's going to chase me. I'm just going to pre-aim this and just shoot him right in the face. See, I feel like a lot of people would take that scenario as like, oh, I'm going to back off, and I'm going to no-scope him. But as you see what I did there, rather than waiting for him to show up and then trying to hit some sort of like whip shot or just try to wait and, you know, line up the no-scope, I made it very easy for myself by just waiting, pre-aiming, and watching him walk around the corner. So as you see there, if my reticle's at head height and I'm just waiting for him around the corner, it makes it very easy. I just watched him walk straight into that. So I use the sniper, which is often thought of as flashy, and I hit a nice shot, which a lot of people, you know, including Dallas, probably from that perspective would have been like, oh man, I just got raped. But as you notice, and as I break it down, it becomes a very easy shot to hit, and that's a lot of sniping. Trying to do your absolute best to make it the easiest shot possible for yourself. You don't want to make it overly complicated. You don't want to have your reticle placement down here and try to whip up at him, or like over here, way at the side and trying to like swipe, you know, like you can do that. I'm not saying that's a bad thing to do, but if you're just trying to make it the easiest way possible and you want to improve your snipe, best thing you can do, keep it head height, just wait for him to walk right into it. You know, if he's rounding that corner, it makes it very easy for me to just wait and then just shoot him right in the face. So a more frequently found scenario in sniping is seeing somebody that's kind of like walking in a straight line. You know, you might be in a position where they might not see you. So if you see somebody here, a lot of people I feel like try to do the shot this way. They'll try to like kind of chase them with the reticle and like follow them and try to line it up like this. A much easier scenario is if you just wait for them to like run into your reticle. If you put your reticle ahead of them and just watch them walk into it, it makes it very easy. So instead of chasing them with your reticle, try to just lead it ahead of them and just wait for them to walk straight into it. Now that makes it a lot easier for you. That makes it where you really don't have to do anything. You know, they're doing all the work. As you see, both these scenarios I've run down so far, I've just made them do all the work for you, and that's kind of like a lot of sniping. Like I said, you know, if your positioning with your reticle and yourself makes it very easy for you in a lot of scenarios if you do it properly. Another big tip I can give about sniping to try to make it easy for yourself is making sure you're zooming in at the right time. And this might sound kind of weird, and it might not be something that you guys have ever really considered, but, you know, pay attention to when you zoom in. You know, if I see Dallas over here on the far left of my screen, rather than like seeing him and my first reaction is to zoom in, right? Rather than zooming in here and then dragging it towards him, you know, starting like here and then moving it towards him, or starting over here, try to wait and like get your nose, like if you're gonna act as if you were gonna no-scope him, move your reticle towards him and then zoom in. So like rather than starting over here, you know, it doesn't seem like it takes that long, but it's just like one extra like step that's kind of weird. Try to wait, put it close to him, then zoom in. You know, it doesn't have to be like right on him, but like the closer you make it to him, like when you zoom in, the easier it's gonna be. So like seeing him and starting here, you know, it's gonna be kind of harder to locate him than as if like I just turn and then he's like right here, you know. So like it's a little bit easier to just kind of turn. These look like they're going right through his head, but that's not really the important part. The important part is that you're understanding that, you know, if I saw him, I put it here, and I'm close to him, rather than being like that. You know, I don't know how many people like kind of do that or have that problem, but it's just an extra tip I can give. You know, put it close to him and then zoom in. Makes your life a lot easier. But now I'm going to move a little bit into explaining when and when not you should be challenging with a sniper. Now, I feel like a lot of people have a snipe and they just feel like they should always be challenging everything, or they kind of want to go for every shot possible, and it gets them killed a lot. And, you know, you'll probably be like, oh, I just need to get better at sniping, and I live in those situations. But honestly, if you just get smarter about when you do and don't challenge, you'll be alive with a sniper and be able to be far more effective with it. So, let's just say I'm up here on this, like, upper part of the map, and I'm looking towards mid, and I kind of get shot and caught off guard. You know, if Dallas came to my side here, now let's just freeze frame here. If Dallas came to my side and he shoots me, at this very point in time, I should be, first of all, figuring out where I'm going to run. You know, in my mind, I'm going to just plan my escape route, you know, either getting behind cover or running away. In this scenario, I'm going to drop off the back of this top of this base here. But he's shooting at me. I have no time, basically, to try and kill him. I'm going to try to take, like, one shot at him, and then I'm going to get the hell out. You know, I'm going to just rip one at him, and I'm out. You know, if I would have hit that shot, fantastic. It would have been flashy, it would have been great. He would have been dead. But I'm alive, and that's the point. You know, I feel like a lot of people would have tried to just stay up there the whole time. And, you know, if I would have missed that first shot, I would have just stayed there and just tried for another one, and I would have got my ass killed. And I would have been like, oh, I'm not very good with the snipe. I missed my shots. But, like, in that scenario, you're really not expected to hit that shot. So, like, you don't need to try. You shouldn't expect yourself to hit a shot like that in every scenario. Like, if I get shot in the side, I shouldn't expect to just be able to just turn and just, like, burn them like that, you know, like, just did exactly like I just did. I turned, I shot one time, and I ran. You know, the shooting is optional. You know, I feel like I like to take one rip at somebody, but then I'm gonna run. I'm not gonna stand out here in the open the whole time and just try to line it up. You know, I don't know if a lot of you guys developed this habit. I know for a long time I did. I would just try to challenge everything, and it would get me killed so much. Like, you don't need to do that. A big part of playing with snipe is playing your life. If you're playing a defensive on your own side of the map, you know, you don't want to be challenging everything. If you're playing aggressive, it's a little bit different. But, you know, overall, playing your life is extremely important for your team. So don't stand out in the open, especially in a scenario like that, at long ranges, and just try to challenge.
Listen to Papa Cole, kids. He knows.
So another thing I want to make sure I emphasize with the snipe is to understand, I want everybody to understand that you don't always have to headshot somebody. I feel like, you know, obviously you want to aim for the head, you know, it makes it a one-shot kill, it makes it very easy. But sometimes, and a lot of times, hitting a body shot is just as effective. You know, hitting your body shot for your team can be really important because, like, if Dallas is shooting me here, you know, he's not shooting me, let's pretend he is, and I hit him with a body here, he's immediately, you know, he's dropped shields. He's gonna run, right? So, in that scenario, I bought myself at least, I think it's 3 seconds to get your shield back. I bought myself 3 to 4 seconds, you know, while him backing down, and I can move away and start looking at other things. You know, if I was playing a team game right now, and my team needed me, I body this kid, he's strafing, okay, that one went straight through him. Wow, that lag. So he's bodied, now I can move away and just look to the other team. Additionally, I can call him out one shot, and maybe my teammate could clean him up while he's one shot. So getting somebody one shot is extremely important. You know, it's also really effective. You know, if you hit just a body, you don't need to beat yourself up. That's a good shot. You know, that can help you. So always, like, being obsessed with aiming for the head, you know, that's not a bad thing necessarily, but, like, you don't always have to hit somebody's head. And if you do body somebody, it's okay to leave them. You know, if you body him, let him go. You don't always have to. He's gonna back away. He's not gonna stay out and keep challenging. So you don't have to worry about that. And you also, unless of course he's out in the open. If he's out in the open, that's a different scenario. Don't look away from somebody out in the open. But if he has an obvious place where he's gonna dip to cover, you can assume he's gonna do that. So that's another thing I just want to mention. You know, you don't always have to aim for the head. You don't need to be obsessed about the headshots. So not necessarily a main sniping tip, but a good time to use a snipe if you can do it. You know, only in certain scenarios would I really recommend doing this, but, you know, it's kind of a hard shot to hit, but if you can do it, it's really great. If I was in, like, a normal gun battle here with Dallas, and he got me weak and I dipped behind cover, I could re-peek with a snipe and then just rip his face real quick. You know, I was using that same principle of keeping it head height and then just peeking out, you know, prepare to shoot him. You know, I recommend using that sometimes because most of the time when you dip behind cover, somebody's first reaction is going to be to throw a grenade. And if you can catch him in that grenade throwing animation, they're not going to be able to shoot you. So even if you're one shot, you can peek and have a half second or two and just kind of rip somebody. But the only time I would really recommend doing that is immediately. If you dip behind cover, immediately peek back again. You know, don't stay back behind cover and wait for like 3 seconds and then kind of creep out. You know, like if you like crouch and then you're just like creeping out at somebody, like it's going to take way too long. So only if you know where they are and you keep it head height can you peek and then just kind of, you know, rip them real quick. But that's kind of a neat thing to do. You know, like I said, seems like a very flashy thing to do, but once again, it's really all about trying to make it as easy as possible for yourself. So you notice I'm not trying to no-scope him, I'm not trying to quick-scope him even, I'm already aimed in, I'm already scoped, and I'm just peeking out at head height, just making it very easy for myself. You know, he's over here, it's already head height, and then it's just moving back and forth. So, making the shot as easy as possible for yourself is a huge piece of advice I can give about sniping. So yeah, those are all the tips I have for you, is like general sniping tips. You know, try to position yourself in a place where you know you have an easy angle at a lot of people, and you know, try to just make your shot as easy as possible. Line it up, let people do all the work for you. It's kind of hard for me to try to tell you like how to make your shot better. You know, like trying to be like explaining how to like snipe without pretty much saying like just shoot them in the face. You know, like that's kind of hard for me to do. But I hope some of these tips will help you guys out. Like I said, if you want to learn more about no-scoping, I have a whole nother video dedicated to that, and I'll link that at the end as well. But if you guys want to check that out, go ahead and do that. You know, drop a like on the video if you enjoyed it and all that. I was playing on this map here that Dallas made. Dallas is the guy who helped me out. He's been my target the whole time. He does a great job forging. He's actually like, he's big into forge, and he has a whole channel that like teaches people about like forging. And I think he's gonna do like a nice video showcasing this map, which he named Penumbra, I believe. So check this map out, guys, if you really liked it. I really enjoy it. You know, I decided to use it for this example video because I think it's really nice. He did a good job with the aesthetics, and it really plays well. It'll be on his Fire Explorer, so you see his gamertag there. It's I3 IG Texas. Go check that out. You can grab this map and play on it with some friends if you guys are interested in it. But yeah, I think that's all the tips I have for sniping on this video, guys. So let me know if you have a tip video you'd like me to do. I think the next one I'm going to do is kind of like gunfighting in general and trying to teach people better ways to win your encounters, your one-on-one encounters. So hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you guys in the next one.
Oh, you ain't killing me that easy, motherfucker. That's right. That's right.
In this video is the whipping no-scope method, and that's going to look a lot like this. So basically, as you might have seen that and initially thought like, okay, how are you going to teach me how to do that?